Welcome to visual mapping as a note-taking tool. You'll have now watched an introduction to visual mapping and you'll have a clear understanding of how to put a visual map together. Now, do you sometimes find it hard to remember facts and figures when revising for exams? Do you ever get bored when you're looking at revision notes? Would you like to find a more enjoyable way to revise? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, then you're going to find this session really useful. We are now living in the information age. Every single day you're going to be exposed to documents, books, articles, newspapers, emails, the World Wide Web. Now more than ever, it's really important to be able to manage this information if you want to keep up in the modern world. Now, visual mapping is one technique that can help you to do this. When you're studying, you've got to do a lot of reading, and quite often the information we read can look a little like this. Now, you might be looking at this text and thinking, this looks really boring. Way too much information. How am I going to remember all of this? Well, one way of tackling this information is to highlight the key words, which is about 10% of the text. You then take the key information and display it differently as a visual map. So what we've done is taken the text and created a visual map all about Jack. So there's a central image of Jack. Now, if you look to the top right, you will see a branch all about where he lives. And he lives in London. And you've got an image there of Big Ben. He lives in Paddington in London. So you've got an image of Paddington Bear. And he's lived in his house for the last 5 years. And he lives in a 4-bedroom house. Now, he shares that 4-bedroom house with his family. He has his 2 parents that he lives with, Tom and Sue. And he's also got an older brother who's 18 years of age and an older sister who's 16 years of age, and Jack is actually 14, and you'll see the dotted line that links through from Jack 14 through to the central image of Jack. Now, in terms of his school, so that's the blue purple branch there, he's at a school which has about 2,000 students, so it's a pretty big school. He's currently in year 10. And there are 2 subjects at school he really loves. Those subjects are maths, so a calculator for maths, and he also loves music. In terms of his hobbies, so that's the pink branch, the final branch, he's got 3 main hobbies. The first hobby that he really loves is to ride his bike. He also likes to listen to music in his bedroom, and finally he loves his Xbox, absolutely loves his Xbox. So that's the same information that was in the text, but displayed in a different way, displayed as a visual map. Okay, now how much of that information do you think you can remember? Let's see. What I'd like you to do is I'd like to recreate the visual map about Jack. If you grab a piece of paper and try to recall as much of the information as you can, what you'll need to do is press pause and then complete the activity. How much information did you manage to recall? Have a look again at the visual map of Jack and check to see how much information you've actually remembered. Press pause and check. The chances are you managed to recall a lot of information. Imagine being able to remember like this for exams. I'm going to show you now how to step by step put a visual map together from a piece of text. Now, step number 1, you'll need to highlight the key words. How many words are keywords in a body of text? 10%. Once you've highlighted the keywords, step number 2 is to draw a central image, which should ideally have about 2 to 3 different colors so that your eye is immediately drawn to the center of the page. Step number 3, add key topics and sub-branches to the visual map. So you've created your central image, you've added your key topic areas, now you're adding information to the sub-branches. So here we have Jack's branch about where he lives. He lives in London, drawing an image of Big Ben. You then complete the rest of the information right through to the end, adding all the information, and the beauty of the visual map is you have all the detail but on one picture, and that really helps with memory. The best way to learn is by doing. So now it's your turn to have a go. Here we have some text all about a girl called Maria. You're going to need to print the text. Press pause and open the document Maria Text and print it out. When you're ready, you'll need to do step 1, which is to highlight the key words. Remember, only 10% of words are keywords. Press pause and then highlight the keywords. Step 2 is to draw a central image of Maria. Remember to make that central image 2 to 3 different colours. Press pause and complete the central image. Step 3, add the key topics and then the sub-branches. Press pause and add this information to the visual map. Well, how did that go? What I've got here is an example of the Maria visual map. You've got the central image, the key topics, and the additional information. This is something you can apply to any piece of text that you really need to remember. It's an amazingly powerful revision tool, and it will really help you with your exams. You might be asking yourself, well, how can I actually apply this to my exams? And that's what I'm going to show you how to do. You might be studying your GCSEs and have 9 subjects in total you've got to revise for. We're going to pick one of these subjects and apply visual mapping to them. The subject we're going to focus on is biology. I'm going to create a mega map of the biology curriculum. Now, there are lots of different exam boards, but you might, for example, be using the exam board AQA. If you go online, you'll be able to find the curriculum. You then print it off, and once you've printed it off, highlight the key headings. The next step is to map out the entire curriculum. So remember, with a visual map, you've got to have a central image, then you have your branches, you then have the information that's connected to those branches. Once you've done this, you'll be able to see on one page exactly what you need to revise. You might now at this point pick a section of the mega map, for example the drug section, use and abuse. What you can then do is create a visual map for this part of the course, mapping out all the information you've learnt at school. You then have all the information on lots of different maps, and it will serve as a brilliant revision tool. Visual maps can be used for note-taking, but they also have lots of different uses, and you can explore these different uses on Dendrite.